Oh no.
And we're on.
Yeah, good think so.
All right.
Hello,
Let's-
and welcome to another evening of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. Should I stop? You went,
Nope, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. Um, that's always a scary sign.
Just had to confirm all the audio feeds we're in.
All right. Do we need to make everybody talk to make sure the audio's in there?
I
What
saw
audio?
everything but Chuck.
What? What about me?
I saw Chuck.
Huh?
He did.
Yep. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
I
All
got
right.
it now.
Okay.
Thank you for sticking with us. Welcome to
there
an
it is.
evening of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. As you can see, we have a new setup. We had a new thumbnail. Lots of that. Senior's still digging for dice because
I
we're
got
not using the polyhedral sets anymore. We're using six-siders.
Lots and lots of six-siders.
Lots and lots of six-siders.
Not
Like-
as many for some as for others.
Like this.
Just as many as I would for GURPS. All right. So welcome. This is our first stream for our new campaign. We're all, well, I'm not going to speak for all of us. I am a little nervous because this is a system I'm not very comfortable with or extremely familiar with. So we'll stumble through it and you'll get to watch us. Let's talk about things that are coming up. Check out the website, dndadjokes.com. Check out that website because things have shifted, things have changed. You can find hot sheets in there for this campaign. The first hot sheet is up. It has been up for a while, so go check it out, read it, see what you can have. Instead of a town crier, I'm planning on doing hot sheets for this campaign that just is kind of things that are happening in Seattle or perhaps the world while they're playing instead of actually doing a summary for every stream. So if you want to catch summaries for streams, you're going to need to catch the beginning of the episode. Because we're going to do that a little different too. Yay, we're changing things. Let us know. If you're a regular watcher, let us know in the comments what you like, what you might not like, you know, suggestions, things like that, because we're going to try something new for this campaign. So check it out.
I'd like a trip to Hawaii.
Well, I mean, okay, reasonable things. I can't send you to Hawaii. I'm sorry,
Out of all
Senior.
of us, you're the only one who can get to Hawaii.
Not on my dime.
So,
I'm out of dimes.
right?
I spent it all going to Iceland and Greenland in September.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up. So,
Yeah.
with that, so we are still going to conventions. We are still doing all of that. So check out our upcoming events page where you can find the conventions we're going to be at as well as a link to them.
Which is out of date right now because Chicago's already over.
Oh, so we'll get that up to date this week.
We are working on upcoming events. I will definitely probably be at a catacon. I will definitely be at a catacon in Dayton in November. But there will be other things coming up. I know you've got a couple of things in the works coming up. We just don't have any confirmed.
Yeah, no confirmed dates yet, but we're hoping to be at Tucson.
Dates for next year.
Yeah, we have some confirmed dates for next year, but not for the rest of this year. But we can put those on there, absolutely. So yeah, Rhonda will be at a catacon next month, right? July? No, the end of this month. When? November. Oh my gosh, what's happening this summer? Is anything happening this summer?
There's a few things happening this summer.
Okay.
If I can get there. One is the Horror Fest in Frankfurt. If I can get there, I'll go there.
Okay.
And, there's some anime fests coming up. I just have to tie them down.
All right. Yeah, so keep an eye on that upcoming events page. Rhonda will be doing things, and I am hoping to be able to run some games at Tucson Comic Con as well as RenCon. So just keep an eye on things. We'll be out and about, and yeah, check it frequently. Is there anything else that I need to give out by way of information. Announcements, I guess I should say.
I don't think so. I think we covered it.
Okay.
I don't think it's an
All right then.
announcement, but something to add to it, just so that people are aware. Uh, we're all fairly new to this system, so we're most definitely going to make mistakes, and well, we're accepting of our mistakes.
Yeah, I have the most experience, but even
And I
that's
will be asking lots of questions.
only about 2 years worth.
Yes. Yeah, we are all fairly new to the system. We've had experiences, but you know, when you have a brief exposure, you don't get the whole system, and this is a complex system. And so we are going to make mistakes for sure. Hopefully we don't run across some crazy like downtime where we have to look up a rule or anything like that, because we did do a couple of sessions before we started streaming to get somewhat familiar with the system so that we don't have to sit here for 15 minutes and look up what are we supposed to do with this. So fingers crossed that we don't run across some crazy stuff like that. Um, the answer to your question, Senior, because I'm just going to give it to you, is not necessarily. You run a mechanic shop, you can just spend that karma and upgrade if you'd like to during your downtime.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a reason to save it other than to use it for that, or.
I mean, you can use it for that, or you can save it for something bigger later. That's up to you. You don't have
This is
to
pretty
spend
big,
karma.
though.
I'm saving everything
True,
because I
true.
don't know what to do with it.
Very true.
There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with
So
saving it until you know what to
there's
do.
nothing wrong with saving it, and there's nothing wrong with spending it. So it's
Well, I
totally
know
up to you.
what to do. That's why I
Then
wanted to make
do
sure
it.
there was no timing issue. I'm going
Yeah,
to just
no.
do that then.
All right. There is no timing issue. All right. With that said, we're going to jump into tonight. Now, this will not happen every week, but I will introduce kind of the Shadowrun world and a little, and some of it is like campaign, but mostly it's Shadowrun in general. And then I'm going to have Joe and Rhonda kind of talk about what has happened prior to streaming to catch all of you up, because our players do know each other. They have made a run together. And so to kind of catch you up there. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit about downtime, because they had some downtime after that run. So let's just jump into it.
I was so down.
Our campaign is called Dark Allies, Shadows of Honor. So let me introduce you. Welcome to the sixth world of Shadowrun, an alternate reality of the world in which we live. Created in part by awakening of the fantastical aspects of magic, metahuman races, and dragons. But that's only part of it. Through the advancement of technology, governments are mostly now figureheads, and the nations are actually controlled by mega corporations. Everyone belongs to one of two groups: sinners or runners. There are some crossovers, but they are the exception, not the rule. Sinners are those who abide by the law set forth by the corporations they work for or are owned by. These wage slaves have their daily routines and check-ins. Should they deviate, they may find themselves inside of a prison. Sure, there are a few that get by running their own establishments, but even they keep vigilant watch to ensure they stay out of the corporation's eyes, lest they too find themselves running from the law. Runners, on the other hand, fight against this machine, or some do. Others make it work for them. They survive by doing the dirty work for the corporations, beholden to none, usually. Whether it be assassinating a competitor, extracting the researcher who has made a breakthrough, or stealing the data to the latest development, if the pay's right, they'll get the job done. And the corporations ensure nothing comes back to them by using a middleman, Mr. Johnson, who has remained anonymous if he's done his job right. Sinners remain within the law, but they are trapped by the corporations. Runners are free from the corporations, but usually find themselves running from the law. Is there a happy middle ground? Perhaps only the CEOs and their direct associates could truly answer that, probably because they are the law. So, we have had a couple of sessions prior to tonight where our runners have met and did a run and found out some information and whatnot. I'm going to let Rhonda and Joe talk about what our runners did the last couple of sessions. You want to kick it off, Rhonda? I have a feeling Joe's
Kick it
between.
off. I can't see Joe, so
Yeah.
I'm here.
can't
No,
see
I'm
any
here.
body language.
Yeah, I can't see if you're going to talk or anything. It's like,
As I was not part of the origination of the runs, I figured you'd start.
oh, well, that very, very first run, that's true. Joe's character was not part of that
It was
very
not part
first
of
run.
that. Our very
Uh,
first run where we met, we were tasked to go into a home. We were supposed to get something.
You retrieved a
gosh.
golden goose. I can talk about that.
A golden
Yeah,
goose.
they went into the Jensen estate to retrieve a golden goose for a Mr. Johnson, returned it, and were paid for that. They were instructed. The oddest thing about the run is they were instructed specifically not to kill anyone.
So, on June the 11th of 2075, we made our first run. And we are continuing. We continued on that day. And I think we probably had another day where we acquired another run. The second run we went on was to acquire some information. Help me remember the name, guys, because I'm like losing it.
So
To
the second
find
run,
information on who?
I was gonna say Joe should know.
I can take us off here. Second run, we were each contacted by different fixers of. Well, was everyone contacted by Rex? Does Rex know everyone?
Luna was contacted by a fixer that she knows,
That I
who
know.
Rex knew.
Okay, so we were all contacted by various fixers. My glitch was contacted by Rex directly, others through intermediaries, for a job to retrieve information about a technomancer question mark named Proxy, who
Proxy,
owned
that's it.
had an office in the back room of a bar called the Dry Bones. You want to take it over?
When we
Rhonda?
entered, when we got to Dry Bones, we did not all enter the same place. Myself, Luna, entered in through the front to keep watch because my specialty is with my hands. I am a fighter. I am a street samurai. I use weapons and hitting to take care of business, unlike some others. And while we were at this, one of the bones,
Dry Bone.
the dry
Try
bones,
boats. One of the
yeah,
boats.
they're entered in some gang members from the local Bloody Screamers, and we ensued in a fight with them, or I entered into an altercation with them initially, while in the back of the building, the others.
In the back of the building, Glitch, Reggie, and Phoenix infiltrated the offices, while Glitch, while Gibson, got to remember what name he's going by, while Gibson was retrieving the data as the Matrix specialist, the others kept watch. The data was retrieved flawlessly, and we were exiting when we were accosted by additional members of this gang, in which we, in a mixture of combat and tactical retreat, made our way out of there. when we got to Reggie's shop.
Reggie's Garage.
Yes, Reggie's Garage. We reviewed the information with some revelations and information from members of the group. We pieced together that while Proxy, who was our original target, was not mentioned in any of the files and had nothing to do with it, the files and all of the small clues amongst it tied each of us together as if somebody that put together this job had intended it specifically for us.
At which
Glitch.
point,
Or go ahead. Yes.
at
Go ahead.
which point, I revealed that I have only been in the city for 6 months, and questioned how would anybody know anything about me? I've only been here for 6 months, and I don't know very many people. But it was
And
uncanny, the coincidence.
yes. Phoenix, do you want to share what you exposed of yourself?
Oh,
Chuck.
He's still getting used to his name.
Sorry. Yes, I am. What did you ask me?
Phoenix, your name's right there on the screen in front of you.
I got like 10 things running through my head right now. So
It's all good. Did you want to share the
as long as none
information
of
that
them are arrows.
did you want to share the information that you shared about yourself while we were reviewing and piecing together the clues?
so one of the people that showed up in the video was somebody named Jeremiah Wilson. He was being strong armed in the video, but he happens to be somebody I went to school with back when I went to university before I got kicked out. When I was framed for something, I haven't actually gone into what I was framed for or anything like that, but I was framed, and he's one of the potential conspirators, shall we say, for that framing. But he also shows up in the data as both being paid and paying for whatever services. Yeah, I think that was all I had shared before.
So with that, we also noticed that many of the images had watermarked or embedded in them somehow a flame that we tracked down to, oh god, some crime syndicate family that I'm blanking on the name.
The O'Malleys?
O'Malley's.
The O'Malley family.
A family
Oh,
from the
Malley.
O'Malley Syndicate.
The O'Malley syndicate.
Oh,
Yes.
O'Malley's. Oh, wait.
Who the
wrong family.
who the princess of the O'Malley syndicate is a lead singer of a band currently playing at Dante's Inferno.
Her name is Mia Gianelli, by the way.
Sounds
That's
like a
it.
pretty hot club.
And if you would like to learn more,
We'll
I'll have to write that
Shiwase.
down. What?
Shiwase.
Shiwase? Okay.
Or C. It's an
Shiwase.
E, right? Or is it an eh?
It
Or-
ends with an E, but
Okay, Shiwase.
Shiwase. Because they're
Well, that's what I was asking was pronunciation, not spelling.
sorry. Spelling ends with an E, but pronounced yes with an A.
Shiwase.
It's a Japanese company, so
Of course you will.
I told you that was going to be my character this time.
What was that?
He's gonna go check out Dante's Inferno. Anyway,
Sounds pretty hot.
that's where the Echoes of Tomorrow are playing. um, yes, it's Shiawase. So you found out that Jeremiah Wilson did indeed work for Shia, or do, or does, work for Shiawase. You know him to be a mage, because he was at university with you in your class. You did discover some pictures, one of them being him with a group that you recall from university, that was the group that kind of he ran with, and many of those in the picture were some of the suspects of what caused you to get kicked out. The other picture was of him with a group of people that you did not necessarily recognize, but it was definitely later, about 2 years later, and it appears to probably be a group of people that he works with. So you did find those two pictures. So, go ahead.
We put all the information together. We did return to Reggie.
Rex.
Rex.
You run with Reggie.
He's that fair guy. We returned to Rex. I gave him some form of the information that we have, where Gibson had an intense conversation with Rex.
And Gibson currently has his mouth full, so give me a moment.
It's like waiters. They always know when you put food in your mouth.
On a side note, at some point this week, you'll be able to see what all of our characters look like on our website.
Yeah.
Yes. Gibson, who has known Rex for a while now and has had many jobs with him, confronted him as to why he was chosen for this job, to see if Rex was aware of the links. Through the discussion and through the discussion back at Reggie's garage, it was revealed that Gibson himself is a technomancer and is actually proxy, or at least at one point proxy was one of the sins that he was running with. Making sure that nothing actually tied back to us, we turned over the information that was altered and got paid.
Always
Yep.
nice.
Always nice.
Where then we had some downtime.
Exactly. So after the run, as Shadowrun is, you will have downtime because you get paid enough to live several weeks, for the most part, between runs, so that you're not running every night or anything like that. So there is downtime. This time you had about a month worth of downtime, and
we gotta pay a month worth of expenses now.
After this next run, yes.
Oh, after okay, no problem.
Yeah, after the next run, yeah. Because the first one was free in essence. So,
Gratis.
Yep.
That's how they can suck
potentially
you
it's
in.
just assumed that you paid for
Yeah.
it, kind of in character creation type
Yeah,
things,
that's
you know.
yeah.
So, all right. So, so you had about a month of downtime, which all of you did some things of which boosted your characters. Some just met contacts, some ran businesses, etc. So let's start with Senior. Senior, what did you do during your downtime?
Fixed cars.
You want to introduce your character?
Garage. Okay, my character is Reggie the Rabbit. Reggie is a auto mechanic by day. He has driven race cars. He knows how to drive fast. He has a boat. Reggie is a fun guy, but mostly he has greasy hands because he fixes cars. But we actually mapped out a location out of Seattle. And so if you want to get a picture of what the uh, auto shop looks like with a Chinese name on it, just let me know and I'll send you the link to where there's actual pictures of the auto shop. And but anyway, on the north side of his shop, it's kind of a triangle-ish, is a mostly bays and where people drive in to get their cars fixed. And I have 4 mechanics and I have a counter gal. On the south side of the shop is a place where there's an office and there's a back office with a secret entrance. You can't get to it. The cops can't even get to it. They don't know it's there. It's hidden. Uh, and there's an elevator that goes down to level 1, basement level 1, which is where if shadier repairs are done, like when the Mr. Johnson wants his repairs done, that's where it gets done. The is discreet. Below that is another level which has my vehicles, my living quarters, and the mechanics for the elevator that actually takes things from level 0 to 1 and 2. Nobody goes there except us, the runners. And we have a area we can meet in, eat in, and all that. It's all down there because it's a pretty good size area. But I don't even let them in my sleeping area. But for the past month since we all met, I've just been repairing SAVs, suburban assault vehicles. That's what Grandma drives. And basically living life, staying away from family, who still think I'm out east.
All right. So Reggie's been working in his business, which is a legit business on the main floor.
Yeah, they do good work.
And who wants to be next? I had Reggie do it because the rest of you kind of talked about your characters a little bit, but Reggie hadn't. So who's next? Luna.
All right.
What'd you do during downtime?
Luna, as I said, she's a street fighter. In her downtime, she checked in on her dual residence, says, to make sure everything was secure and safe, and spent time um, lunching with her friend, whose name is Serena Gent. And cleaning her weapons and making sure everything's in working order, doing her daily exercise routines, being prepared for when the call comes. By the way, Luna is an elf.
Yes, the rest of our fine folk are human. Pass it off to Gibson.
Gibson is he called now, but his actual name is Glitch, is a resident technomancer, matrix runner, and he likes to think of himself as a smooth talker. Um, More on the chaotic side, once the job was done, he did not like the fact that people were keeping a tabs on him, as any good matrix aficionado would be concerned with. So he started preparing by building a small army of sprites to be ready, and doing research on the O'Malley Syndicate, as well as doing additional research on the O'Malley Syndicate by trying to get close to Mia.
You have garnered her attention as being a regular and kind of being upfront. But as far as making moves on her, not quite yet.
Keyword yet.
Phoenix, what'd you do during that month?
So over the last month, I decided I wanted to increase my ability in magic. So I went to talk to my talismonger, Night Owl, and she introduced me to the ability to uh, what's called initiation, basically being able to delve into magic further to do more with it and learn meta magic abilities. One of the ways to make it better is by going through different kinds of ordeals. The one I decided on was a metaplanar quest. So I completed a ritual that she showed me how to do. And during that time, while I was the quest basically took place in really in a metaplane, although my body was kept safe for the duration of it. But I did it near her place so she could keep an eye on me. Additionally, but that quest ended up consisting of having to attempt to save children by defeating some monsters around them. But the problem is the monsters were interspersed among the children, so I had to figure out a way to shape my fireball to avoid hitting the children but defeating the monsters. And the quest ended up being a series of one kid died or more kids died, so try it again, keep trying until I eventually figured out how to actually shape that magic around them. So in the end, I was able to figure that out and was able to learn how to use that in the real world. And so now I can do some spell shaping and be able to try to shape spells around you guys and actually be able to not hit you when I, cast big fireballs or other spells that I might use.
No children were harmed in the attempt at this quest.
Yes, they were not real children.
They were not IRL or
They were
Shadowrun.
they were metaplane facsimiles.
Yes. Which did take you a little bit to mentally.
It over the whole ordeal and learning the meta magic and refining it took basically the entire month.
So a month goes by.
I go home and there's lots of mail there.
You,
All bills.
all bills. And all addressed to
Because I haven't been
not
there for
Phoenix.
a month.
So a month goes by. You all are doing your thing. You all will receive a text, contact on your comms. Text, in essence. Job. Transport job. Pay decent. Meet at. I'm gonna continue to use it. The boneyard. At 7 p.m. I don't know what day it is. Monday. I don't know. I don't know
Today.
what day it is. July something, because it's a month later. July 11th.
Try
We'll
not
go
giving
for it.
a day, give it a date.
Yeah, July 11th at 7 p.m. at the Boneyard. Mr. Johnson, room 3. I don't know. There's a number of private rooms in the back of the Boneyard for various meetings and whatnot, as is the same for most larger bars. And upscale restaurants, there's also private rooms. And this is where Mr. Johnson's generally do their business, that or just once they've established, they'll just send it straight to you sometimes. But you recognize that this does indeed come from Rex. So Rex did set you up with this, or at least you're assuming so. But the text is clear that you're not going to be meeting him, you're going to be meeting a Mr. Johnson.
And what time is it now?
It is now July 10th at 9 p.m. It'll give you time. The reason why I do it a day before is to give you time to contact each other if you wanted to, or do some final things if you wanted to do something prior to meeting a Mr. Johnson. So I will say it's July 10th, approximately 7 p.m.
So by this point, I would have been done with my initiation for a day or two already, which means I've mentally and physically recovered.
I'm going to get myself ready.
She's going to pack up her weapons.
Do we see on the communication who all is invited to the shindig?
You do not. This is
Good.
directly to you. Each of you. It is directly to each of you. You do not know who else received this message. To be fair, Gibson, you might be the only one that has real cause, per se, to be like, okay, who am I running with this time? Everybody else, you only know Rex through Gibson, so it's up to you whether or not you would assume that, okay, you're going to be running together or not. So that is up to you.
I'm gonna assume, but I'm gonna check anyways. So I'll send a message to everybody else. Just says Boneyard tomorrow? Question mark.
I'll send back you two. Period. It's a statement. Not a
It's a
question.
statement, not a question.
Good enough. I know from Luna that's all I'm gonna get.
I'll respond with, see, I didn't even have to tell her I love her, and she's already returning affection here. But yes, I'll see you guys there.
Do you respond to the message, Reggie? Oh, you're muted.
He tries to, but he's muted. So he can...
Yes, but he's muted. He's like, dang it, the
You can't-
stinking comms.
For some reason,
Can you
his
hear me?
comms never quite work right.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll respond positively.
Okay. So you get the me too from Reggie, or see ya from Reggie.
Yeah.
Somehow I think that would be a C. I wouldn't want to be ya.
Yeah.
I will make sure
Make sure I've got all
that
my
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 bike is packed, my backpack is packed, and my weapons are loaded, secured, extra clipped. Knives are sharp. Yeah. Double
I've
check.
got
As
some
if the
drones
last
in the
month
van.
hasn't been long enough to do that.
make sure that
I've got some
all my gear's prepped, my
controls.
guns are oiled and cleaned, and all my mags are loaded.
Let's see. Which drones do I want?
I
Pick a few
probably
drones.
in the morning would get up and summon a spirit just to have one
Okay.
on hand.
Oh, it's the drone with the grenade launcher on it. That's the one
Be
I
the
have. I also have the mini spy drone, but
It's fair. All right. Fire spirit, I assume. You would tell me otherwise if you
yeah,
were summoning something else. Okay.
yep, fire spirit.
Okay.
And
Oh,
I
wait.
hadn't quite gotten around to actually doing the
All right. You just tell me what
thing
I
for
need to
this,
roll.
but
Because I know it's
roll
force
6
times
dice.
2 or something. Let's do them all the same color so I know which ones are actually the ones I rolled. Wow, I cannot see my colors. That's pretty bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay.
That was a pretty good roll for me.
And I need to roll summoning plus magic. Does it not have? Okay. This is, of course, the one thing that I haven't actually gone through and
He
created
was
my
making
cheat
sure
sheet
he
for yet.
knew how to work his spells, not his spirits.
Well, the spells are confusing enough as it is. But I already had a cheat sheet. It just wasn't as concise as the other one, the new ones.
FYI, you willing to try Shadowrun? Cheat sheets are
A
a good thing to
requirement.
Oh,
have. they're pretty much a requirement.
you said you got 4?
I did. I got 4.
Okay, so I failed the first try.
Oh no! How long do you have to wait for the again?
I don't
Couple of hours?
I don't
I mean,
know
you
that I
have
have to
like
wait.
14 hours, so it's probably fine.
I don't think
I don't
there's a
know.
way. He still has to make a resistance
I
for the
still have to
fifth.
do the
Oh, you still have to
drain.
do the resistance. Okay, gotcha. Or the drain. Okay,
Uh,
drain is usually
whew,
force.
drain's gonna be 8.
Oh, it's based on my successes. Ouch.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because the total it's 2 times the total hits on the spirit's defense test,
all right. Get your drain.
which
Let's see how weak you're gonna be.
where is the I forgot to write down on there what I need to roll for drain. Okay, hold on.
All right,
You can
we'll
go ahead and
figure that
move
out.
on. I'll let you know if
All
I
right. It's the same number of dice rolls though the next time, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's based on the force, and I was
Okay.
gonna do a force 6. So
Okay. All right. So I have my next roll for when you try again. All right. Knowing how you treated the last run, all of you are going to pretty much make sure you're there just at least a wee bit early. Reggie, you're going to go a little bit earlier to scout out a bit. And Phoenix usually sends a spirit in to scout. That's if he can get one. And Luna, Do you want to go early?
I usually go early and kind of check out the surrounding area
All right.
and find
Egress.
find obscure spots.
All right.
Really in the shadow.
All right.
I got my GMC Bulldog step van,
Nice.
and in the back, I've got a display unit flying a mini MCT Fly Spy mini drone.
Okay.
Just with
Um,
cameras and all the accoutrements
all
of
the good
cameras.
stuff. All right.
Audio enhancement too.
I pretty much already have my own booth there, so I'm probably going to be a bit early and have a few drinks.
Yeah, you could. All right. For those that are kind of scouting the area, Reggie, your
I got a
drone
mini
flies
fridge in the
high.
van.
That does not surprise me. Your drones are going to fly high, and do a nice perimeter search. Nothing out of the ordinary stands out. Dante's Inferno, of course, does have their own security, their bouncers and
we were at
whatnot.
the bones or the boneyard.
No, the boneyard. Oh, you're right. You're at the boneyard. Boneyard has its own security too. It's a rather decent establishment. Not as big as Dante's Inferno, of course, but it's still pretty large in and of itself. It has its bouncers. You will see the bouncers kind of, checking people in and whatnot, just mostly just keeping an eye out on things and make sure the bar doesn't get overcrowded or anything. And a couple of people up on the rooftop just to keep an eye on things. It's nothing that you didn't expect. Matter of fact, it looks very similar to the last time you went to the Dry Bones. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Luna, you drive around. You check out egress points because that's how you are. If you get in a mess, you need to be able to leave quickly. You check out some egress points. There are some dark alleys that that you recognize from the last time you were here, that are pretty safe and not traversed a whole lot. You could easily park somewhere where you can, exit the bar quickly, go through some shadows, get to your bike, and be able to get out of there quickly if you feel you need to. You do know that not all of your weapons are going to be accepted into the Dry Bones Boneyard. I should never have named that the Dry Bones Boneyard. The things GMs do to themselves.
Fair.
So anything that's not concealable, basically, or small blades, gigantic blades won't be accepted, but small blades are generally okay as long as they stay in their spots. Uh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Art.
Uh,
Okay.
Really be
Fair. What's that? Uh,
comment.
nope. Audio's
Are you gonna
going
be able to?
through the on the
Interesting.
stream.
It's definitely not coming out on the live chat or on
we
the.
had audio earlier.
Oh, wait. There it goes.
Audio's going through
Okay, now I hear it.
the. Was it muted?
It wasn't muted on my phone, no.
Hmm.
But it's coming through now.
Interesting.
Huh. Not sure what's going on there.
I
Well,
don't know.
hopefully
Yeah,
it doesn't.
just started.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't cut out again, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Thank you for letting us know.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
You figured out the spirit?
I figured out what I needed to figure out, which was how long it takes to heal up for stun damage.
Oh,
Because I did
so
not
this-
do well on my
Oh no.
brain, and I took 7 stun damage. But over the next 2 hours, I was able to rest enough to heal up.
Okay. I was like, Phoenix is gonna walk in half asleep.
Because I woke up early to do this. So my second time through, though, I got
Second
7,
attempt, I only
7
got 2.
hits. Okay. Oh, good. That leaves me 5. And that means I only have to resist 4 this time.
A little bit easier.
You think?
Oh, I wonder if that's what. Oh, I hope that's not what caused it.
Uh-oh. What, you switching screens or something on your computer?
Yeah, if I don't have OBS open on top, it might be causing it, but we'll do tests later.
Okay. The
But
joys
folks,
of being the technology.
yeah, I need to set up a second computer to do this for us. Thank you for letting us know about the audio, folks.
Definitely.
We didn't know anyone was listening.
Does that mean none of it? Oh, it was cutting out. Okay.
Yeah, it was cutting out and then it just cut out completely for a while and now we're back. Maybe
From outer
because of
space.
backward programs and
Maybe
making
because
sure that
Joe
certain
can't
programs are to the
multitask.
front. Yeah. Joe has to learn how not to multitask.
That is never going to happen.
Multitasking? What? That's just silliness.
It's the only way I can task.
Oh
Have
my
trouble
goodness.
monotasking.
All right, Phoenix.
Multipass.
Um,
Multipass.
do you send your spirit out or do you just show up early and don't worry about it? Because I know your spirit has a certain number of tasks that they're allowed to do per se.
What do you mean?
Because you summoned a spirit.
Yeah. The spirit's just gonna basically when I get there, because I would ride my bike ride the motorcycle, and when I get close to it, stop, have the spirit go do a
search. Okay.
search around, make sure there's no hostile magic that I need to worry about.
Okay. He floats around. He does run across a few other spirits that are out and about, but nothing hostile. They all seem
Every
to just be
time I
there
feel the spirit.
watching people and
Okay.
checking perimeters and waiting and things like that.
And when I'm running around with it, it's essentially doing the equivalent of sitting on my shoulder, even
Okay.
though it's really just in the astral space.
Okay. It just hangs out astrally for
Astrally, it's sitting on my shoulder.
you. The medium-sized spirit is sitting on your shoulder.
Well, it's a phoenix.
Oh, okay.
My fire spirits always take the form of a phoenix.
Okay.
Something to punch.
Just give you. Well, you can punch anybody you want, but I can't guarantee that you won't get thrown out of the bar. All right, you all come in. Gibson, you get your drink. You start seeing comrades coming in or fellow runners that you've run with before, at least, that know your secret. So
I'm gonna come in and grab
fellow
a
chummers.
mocktail and head towards room 3.
All right, a mocktail.
Well, I'm not skilled in drunken fighting, so
Only one way to get skilled.
I
And
would have thought
also
you'd
a
have-
lightway.
I would have thought for sure you'd have gone for that one.
The drunken master. Yeah. All right. So you grab a
I'm
drink.
more
You
in
go ahead.
playing a fantasy character. I'm not playing myself.
Right. You go ahead and head in toward room 3. You see Luna kind of just grab a drink and head on toward room 3. Doesn't really even pay attention to who's in the bar, where's everything. She just goes. Um, she already scoped out the perimeter. She's walking very confidently.
When I get to the bar, I would go into astral projection or astral projection.
Perception.
Perception.
Or yeah, basically looking to see if there's any other mages, adepts, anything like that in the room.
Gotcha. When you kind of go into there, you do see a few just scattered about. They're not necessarily grouped together. Some of them are engaged with other people in conversation, drinking. There's one that's kind of sitting by themselves at the bar, drinking. So you see a few
Okay.
scattered about.
And I'm
Which
not looking like
Would not be uncommon,
not
really.
looking into them or anything, just getting a general feel for the room.
All right. So yeah, you see a few. Do you get a drink? Do you go to room 3? Do you sit with Gibson?
Yeah,
Do you
Oh.
even? Yeah, he'll do it all. We'll just do it all.
basically. All the things that are expected.
I'm parked about a half a block away.
All right. Make your way to the bar. Phoenix, you're gonna grab a drink. You're gonna head to room 3, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggie, you walk in. It's getting close to time. It's a few minutes, tops, early. You see. How long do you wait, Gibson, before you head back?
About 3 minutes before it's time to start.
Okay. Reggie, you
That's
walk
about
in.
the time I walk in the door.
Yep. Yep. You walk in and you kind of take a glance around and you spot Gibson kind of heading back toward where room 3 is.
Before I had gone in, I would have run a drone around the couple block radius
Mhm.
looking for anyone that seemed to be out of place or hiding in place.
You don't see really anything out of the ordinary, except for kind of at the edge of your radius. You do spot a dark vehicle. Seems to be just sitting on the side of the road. Well, more or less in an alley. No, they're on the side of the road. They're side road parking. They're on the side of the road, just sitting there, like dark vehicle. It's one of the only vehicles on the road at the moment, right there.
Right. From around the corner, I will actually take discrete pictures and file them in the computer.
All right. You take some pictures, file them away, and head into the bar. You see Gibson heading back to room 3. Do you go ahead and just head back, or do you grab a drink?
Yeah, I
Okay.
will follow him.
All right, you follow in.
Like
As
I
you
said, I
guys,
have a fridge in the van. Why would I need a drink?
that's fair. um, as you get
To
into the room,
socialize,
do what?
to socialize, of course.
Oh,
Oh, well, I
Reggie's not
wasn't
very
going to
good at
bring one
that.
in with me. Just rude.
All right. When you head in, you do notice that there are some like water pitcher, some glasses of water, and there are a few like finger foods kind of on the table. You can tell that they definitely want you, hydrated and definitely not drunk for this. Please have your faculties, is what this is saying. And you come in, you sit down, you see each other. Um, do you discuss anything prior to a Johnson walking in? Not that a Johnson might not walk into the middle of your conversation.
Nodding and greeting, that's all.
All right. Do you imbibe in the water?
I am there, and it is my usual accord. I have a hoodie.
Up.
I
All
wouldn't
right.
trust the Johnson as far as I can see him.
I have
Ah,
my drink from the bar, so I'm just sitting there drinking that.
yep.
Who wants the food? That'll just dull the sensation of the alcohol.
I mean, as long as you're on your not too deep into it, I guess. All right. As you kind of sit there, you greet, you say hi. Um, a couple of minutes pass, and it's like 9:01, and Mr. Johnson walks in.
You're late.
He is wearing a nice kind of sports coat, slacks, slightly a loosened top, like the top buttons unbuttoned. But it is a dress shirt. He's not wearing a tie. Um, he has his hair pulled back. He's got really long dark hair pulled back in a leather strip. Um, Tan skin. He walks in. He stops in the door. Make sure it shuts behind him. Kind of looks at each one of you and gives a little bit of a nod. Walks around the table to the back side of the table and sits down. He says, "Welcome. I'm glad that you have answered this job post. I have a transport job to offer you. I need a package delivered. Needs to be picked up from one location and delivered to another location, several blocks away, all in Seattle. I'm willing to offer 3,000 apiece."
A lot for a package
3,000
delivery.
for delivery, but this isn't just a delivery. We're also retrieving it. If you had it here and handed it to us and we delivered it, that would be a delivery. This is also retrieval. Is it in your possession? Is it under your control?
Currently.
How big is the package?
It is approximately 20 by 12 by 5
That's a pretty good sized package.
inches, not feet.
Oh, inches. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, so yeah. Okay, just a box.
small box.
Okay.
The
I'm
long
thinking
small
crate.
box.
I pull out my extra hoodie. The blue and yellow one that's got the smiley arrow on it.
Your extra hoodie? Okay.
Okay.
Are you double
so
hoodieing?
Are you-
how
Women can
discreet
never
do you
be
want this
careful.
delivery?
I
Well, you
interrupted senior.
so you say you did. So you are what was your question?
How discreet do you want this delivery?
Discreetly. This package should not be displayed openly or publicly.
Where did he say we're delivering?
How much
He
protection is
didn't.
required for it? In other words, is everyone going to want this thing? Are we going to be fighting people? Or are we just able to deliver it?
You should be able to just deliver it, if done so discreetly.
Yes.
Is
Well,
this
inside of a van, that's easy to keep it discreet.
Should someone
Thing
get
is,
in our way,
so?
what should we do with them?
Good
Remove
question.
them.
Very well.
Okay.
Is this package volatile? Is it going to explode if we shake it too hard?
Nothing in it should explode.
Should.
Is
I
there
love
an
that
additional?
word, should.
Is there an additional payment if we do run into resistance?
That is negotiable.
Negotiations after the fact are bad business.
Roll me a negotiation check. Roll me your skill for negotiation.
I will. All right.
Now, how if I were to roll a negotiation, how would I know what to
That would be a skill, negotiation. And for your character from Chummer, you should already have a die pool next to it. So you don't have to add things together.
Yes, but I have something.
Just making
to
sure that I understand how to use my character sheet. For those of you joining us, she spent the last 3 years telling me not to play this game.
I did. I did. And here we are.
Yeah, we
What?
spent the past few years telling her how confusing this game is, and now we've
Okay, is this
decided to
gonna
play
be-
it.
Is this going to be open road or city streets?
City streets.
City streets. So speed is not the issue.
I mean,
Blending in
Yes.
is the issue.
let's get it out there.
Okay.
Where are you wanting this thing delivered?
What is your negotiation roll?
That's what I'm rolling right now.
Okay.
3.
3. Okay. Well, it beats my 1.
We can
This
count
is the-
on Jody for that.
This is the reason everybody likes me to run games. I'll say, all right, we can negotiate. There is a potential for danger if this is known. If anybody else knows what's in this package, or if the package is displayed, if it's not discreet and eyes are set upon it, it is, and especially if they know any idea or have any idea of what may even be on it or in it, there is a potential for danger. I am willing to go up to 5,000. 2,000 now. 3,000 upon delivery.
I'll look to the others.
Get a
Just
wink
nod.
from Reggie.
Get a from Luna.
I'll nod. Looks like you have yourself a deal. Looking at him, is he broadcasting at all?
Um, he definitely has some matrix. He has some cyberware, and of course his comm. He's
I'm
not.
taking.
He is physically there,
Mhm.
and he doesn't seem to be like translating anything like they're communicating with somebody else. It doesn't seem to be that way.
But I'm gonna just make note of his avatar.
Okay, all right. Um, gosh, now I gotta come up with an avatar.
See all these things that I add complexity to your life.
You do add complexity to my life. Stick to the flirting. I can do that. What is he broadcasting? I'm going to say this Mr. Johnson seems to be broadcasting uh
Hello, Kitty.
Hello Kitty. More or less a shadow. Um which is kind of half expected since Mr. Johnson's want to remain anonymous. So it's more or less a shadow. But the shadow itself is not just black. It's like black interlaced with some blues and purples, almost like it shimmers with blues and purples.
So not dissimilar from my own.
Not too much. Don't you present more as chromish, not
Uh,
shadow?
humanoid. Yeah, more of a
Okay.
chromish humanoid that's sort of
Okay.
glitching. Like
Yeah.
he's glitching in and out here and there.
Yeah. No, well, he's a shadow humanoid.
Okay.
So he says, "Well, good," and he goes ahead and kind of looks at you and says, "To whom shall I send information? I prefer not to send it to everybody."
I'll raise my hand.
Okay. He'll get on his little device, and you will get a ping. The ping has a set of numbers on it and letters. It's 594306 TEX. He says, "This is a code. I have just sent you a code in order to pick up the package from the shipping yard." He'll give you the address for the shipping yard. Please do not make me come up with addresses for everything. Send you the address to the ship, or he doesn't send it to you. He tells this to you. He only sends the code. He says you will need to pick it up from the shipping yard. From there, you will need to deliver it to Felix's on Dexter Avenue. I'm just giving you a street. I know. Shipping yard, Dexter Avenue. To Felix's. Yes, Rhonda, help me. Rhonda, I think you
I
were
was
the
like,
one that gave me
why
that
does
name,
that
didn't you?
name sound so familiar?
I was like, I need a name. And she said, Felix. I said,
Does
okay.
Felix have some sort of identification and identifier or code so we know we're giving to the right person?
Well, when he says Felix's, you realize he's not talking about a person. He's talking
Right.
about a location. It is an event location. The event location often it houses weddings, it houses funerals, it does business galas, it does auction housing, all of that stuff. It's a large event venue per se. So Felix's is going to be an event venue. He says you will need to deliver it to Felix's. You can hand it off to the head of security. He will be recognizable by a red tie, and of course, he will be wearing an earpiece. He should be the only one wearing a red tie. Tie, not bow tie. Tie.
Is it going to be tied with a half Windsor, a full Windsor, or what?
An
Are they from
eldritch knot.
Are they from Thailand?
No, they're not from Thailand. Thailand. I don't know. I'll give you some not. Some not standard not. And because, why not? More identification, right?
Details matter.
He's very
Details matter.
professional. It will be a full Windsor.
Be a full Windsor.
Why would you want one of those? A forehand square knot's much nicer and tidier. But anyway,
So
a rope
he says
tie is interesting.
the package needs to be picked up, dropped off there to the head of security. Warnings that I will say is to stay alert. Do not allow the package to be seen, if at all possible, and be discreet. And do not open it.
That's a given in our industry.
Well, sometimes. If I don't give it, somebody's going to come back and litigate. Well, you didn't say you couldn't open it.
It won't be me.
I mean, I can't say that I've never done that.
So, that is the job. And then he'll kind of toss down 4 cred sticks. 1 for each of you. Yeah, if you pop them in, you'll know right away it's got 2,000 on it.
I'll pick it up or pick mine up and stick it in my pocket.
We'll say. This it needs to be it can be picked up. It's ready to go at any time, but it must be delivered by tomorrow night. Nope, tomorrow afternoon by 1. Yeah, the Trinity knot. That's a good one. I like that one. So it must be delivered tomorrow by 1.
Okay.
And he and no earlier than noon. I say by 1, but no earlier than noon. He won't be there to accept it before noon.
Well, there goes showing up at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
He'll stand up. Any further questions?
Not at the moment. How will we receive final payment?
Upon delivery.
Is
The head of security will know where to send you.
Thank you.
And he will nod and he will walk out.
I'll look to the others. I really need to talk to Rex about getting us some better paying jobs.
Give them time.
All right.
I mean, the fact is we don't know each other well enough to operate that smoothly. The more we do, the more we get paid.
I'm assuming you have a vehicle that'll be discreet enough to carry this in.
Oh, we can just carry it in my van. The fact is it's armored. It's got all kinds of sensors on it, and we can all travel in it, or at least a few of us can travel in it. And it looks like it belongs in the city because it says cable company on it.
Works for me.
Because let's face it, there's 100 cable companies out there.
You want to go pick this
I
up?
mean, I could
Did he give
change
us
the
a time
labels
to pick it up?
anytime.
He said it's ready anytime you want to pick it up. Just has
Shall we
to
go?
be delivered between
Let's go
12
get
and
it.
1 tomorrow.
Let's go get it now. get this over with, have a good night's sleep, and then get it delivered.
All right. Do you all pile in the van?
I'd recommend someone follow on a bike if they have one.
I don't think I want to leave my bike behind.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to
Yeah,
leave
no.
my bike here.
So
Yep, I'll follow on my bike as well.
I don't.
All
I
right.
don't mind to ride in the van as long as I can drop my bike off first. So
I mean, you could. You got plenty of time to do this.
yeah, go ahead and drop the bike. I'll just follow you, and we'll that way have one. We can have two trail bikes and trailing bikes, and one shooter in the van if we need it, or spotter at least.
where was the meeting at?
The package is at the shipping yard. He told you to pick it up at
No,
the
where
shipping
did we
yard.
just meet with him? It was
Oh, the
Yeah.
boneyard.
Boneyard.
okay. Okay.
How far is
well,
that from your place?
I have no idea.
Pick a distance.
It is.
Would it be closer to drop his bike off at the garage?
That's what I was wondering.
Oh, yeah, you could do that. It
Uh,
might be closer because
Okay.
your garage is downtown.
Yeah, the garage is
Right.
downtown, whereas
Yeah.
I'm all the way out in
Well,
Renton. So
Yeah, it's
There's
probably
not-
closer.
Yeah, the van is not made up right now anyway, so it might be good to go slap some signs on the van to make it look like it's something that belongs downtown, some
All
cable
right.
company that exists or whatever.
All right.
so head
It's a
back to
step
the
van, so
garage first.
All right. So you head back to Reggie's garage first, drop off your bike, slap some things on the van, and there's no other than the mechanics who are pretty much in the know, and your employees. There's nobody other than them in the main garage right now. So
heading there, I would have told the bikes to go ahead and go reconnoiter the two locations.
all right. Who wants to scout the boneyard?
We're at the boneyard.
I mean, the shipping yard.
Shipping yard.
Oh my gosh, I am going to die. It is episode 1, and I can't get my name straight.
I will go to
It'll
the
take you some time too. I'd say that's the key, but that was the last.
All right, who's going to the shipping yard? You're going to go to the shipping yard and check it out. So are you going to go to Felix's then, Gibson, and drive around and check it out?
Yep, I will do so. And it's
Okay.
an event space, so I might even step in, see what sort of events are going on.
You absolutely could. Okay, we'll start with Luna.
mitzvah.
It's a bat
They're all
mitzvah.
underage.
That's right. And you're delivering a menorah. Oh, wait. You're delivering the dreidels for the bat mitzvah. All right, Luna, you go to the shipping yard. You drive around. It's a shipping yard. You're somewhat familiar with the shipping yard, given your proclivities and the things you've stashed around the city. So you're somewhat familiar with the shipping yard. Driving around the shipping yard, you go ahead and check in, and yeah, your stuff's still there. It's all good, just check it out. And you notice that the shipping yard is after 9, so it's pretty dead. Most shipping happens early in the morning or in the early evening, rarely in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night. It's usually kind of sun up, sundown almost. And so the shipping yard is pretty dead. You see a few people kind of walking around, a couple of probably vagrants or possibly other runners running around doing shenanigans, You have no idea what. They could be graffitiing something, or they could just be having a fling for all you know. Nothing looks outrage. Nothing looks suspicious. And you do also see some dock security kind of walking about and things like that. You do know that in the main part, kind of where you keep your stuff, um, there is a large warehouse that does bring in packages, shipping crates, things like that. Um, that is a fairly large warehouse that does have shelving units that has uh, places to store packages to so that people can come and pick them up from being shipped over. And usually it's large companies that come in and pick up a large set of packages. But every now and then there is a section of this warehouse where individuals, usually who pay a pretty sum, can have their packages on hold there for them to pick up or to send somebody personally to go and pick those up. Um, and looking at some of that area, you do recognize that this warehouse, and you know this warehouse in essence because of your stuff. Um, you notice that the warehouse itself is locked up for the evening. You are probably going to have to find a way in if you
How
want to
did
go
we know
into the
that?
warehouse
How did we know that?
because the dock is empty. Nobody's there except for security.
We were given a code to retrieve it, though.
You were.
So
Looking around the warehouse, just so you know, looking around the warehouse, there are, of course, large bay areas where they can bring in very large crates or load and unload trucks, vans, etc. Um, but there is a couple of single doors to this warehouse that you could enter into. Of course, they are all locked. All of them have keypads.
Okay. Whatever
Just so you
door they're
know.
going to pick, I'm going to back up to it.
Wait, you're not there yet.
Oh, no problem.
They are checking out the area still.
Oh, they're checking it. Okay, so
Yeah,
no problem.
they're
I
still
have
going around
something
checking
in
it
here
out.
to help me open doors.
Do you have something to help you open doors?
Yeah.
Did you have a code picker or something? Did you want to do that while you're checking it out or wait for the group?
I have a lock pick.
this question is, what kind of block is it?
It's a keypad. Beep 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 beep.
I believe those are two separate items.
I do
Yeah,
too.
I can't remember what
I
they're
do
all
too.
called.
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I'm pretty sure they are because I thought I had both of them,
What's up?
but
What are you looking for?
don't see it on
They're
here.
standard like lock picks for like a key lock, and then there's another type of lock pick, and I can't remember what it's called, that does like the
Well,
electronic type of locks.
Yeah, they're like magnetic.
Sequencer.
Sequencer.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even tell her what to look for. I was like, I can't remember the name of it.
Probably under the skill itself, honestly.
Under what?
It probably is listed under the skill itself.
The skills?
Well, it's the
Well,
item
it's
is a
an
sequencer.
equipment. Yeah, it's equipment, but
Right, but
Yeah.
it might talk about it in the skill. A lot of times those are.
I don't think that it's on here. I think I
Anyways.
looked at it, but I don't think I did it.
but the question remains: do you want to do this now, or just
If I don't have
and let
the
them know
stuff
that
to
we're
do
here?
it with, no, I will just scope out and wait for everybody else to get here because this kind of stuff's not really my forte. I'd be more likely just to knock the door down.
Fair.
And since what I
That's
am
fair.
seeing is I have some lock picks and not the
All
other
right.
thing.
And not the sequencer. Okay.
Yeah. that.
All right, then you'll
I would
probably
do
just hang
them.
tight.
I think I started to take it and I changed my mind because I wanted something else.
That's fair enough. All right, so you hang tight and you wait. Gibson,
And I'll wait.
Yes.
you go to Felix's. When you get to Felix's, you do see some activity there. Um, it looks like they're preparing or they're bringing in stuff to prepare for an event, possibly tomorrow, um, or at least in the very near future. And as you kind of scope out the area, you see a couple of bay doors where they can bring in large equipment and things of that nature. Well, probably only one bay door. I say couple just all the time, but probably only one where they can bring in larger equipment. But that's kind of it in the back of the building that you notice. At the front of the building, it's very elaborate. It looks very beautiful. It's uh, what we would consider kind of modern with the exposed roof inside, that kind of, it's metal and dark wood, some of it, but most of it is metal. um, and it's got beautiful large archways. You see a sign above it that's written like in script that's like Felix's Event Center. um, and if you check the doors, they are unlocked. I mean, there's lights and stuff on
I'll
in the
walk in
building. All right.
nonchalantly, and looking around. Do I see any advertisements or any sort of posters of tomorrow? You know,
Okay. Um,
Jacob's extraordinary exploding kittens.
exploding kittens. Yeah. No. When you walk in, you do see a small area that has like some brochures and things like that for Felix's that you could just pick up information or whatnot, if if you wanted to. It's a very small section because obviously we live in the you know
Digital age.
digital age. So it's a very small bit. You see definitely in the Matrix, you see the advertisement, the phone number, all of
And
that
that's what I.
stuff. You see all that for
Sorry,
sure.
that's what I mean. I'm looking in AR.
Okay. Okay. All right. And when you do walk in, you do get a flash of like a poster
Mhm.
that says by invitation only auction on, what did I say, July 10th. So it's July 11th, auction on July 11th. Um, high value items, inquire ahead of time via, and then there's a contact, like a contact email.
I'm gonna open up a like a word, a burner email or a
Okay.
burner contact, and shoot off an email saying, "Looking forward to the auction. Appreciate the adherence to anonymity. Could you please provide a list of your upcoming auctions so I'm prepared to bid appropriately?"
All right. Um, almost immediately you get a response. You know that this was probably a canned response almost
Yeah.
immediately. Um, and it'll say enter uh, enter code. What will it say? Enter code and verify. Uh, or enter code to verify. Man, I can't speak tonight. Enter code to verify guest list.
Hmm. I don't want to go through the trouble of breaking into their system right now, so
Don't want to hack their system. All right.
not yet.
All right.
I'm, I'm tempted now that you said that, but
I expected you to, so that's fine.
uh,
No,
you know
that's
what?
fine.
We have hours left, so I'm
You do
figuring we're
have
gonna
hours.
go pick this up first, and then I'll hack their system.
There you go. because you don't have to be there to hack their system technically.
Well, I can
Um,
always come back.
you could always come back. You know that this is like a little entryway. You see the sign, the little kiosk kind of thing that has a few brochures and things. Um, and kind of looking beyond the entryway, there's a set of double doors with like windows in it, and you can see that the room not set up yet, but there's like racks of chairs. There is a what seems to be maybe a stage on the far side that seems to be set up with some decor, some fabrics and stuff on it. There's a podium over there. Um, you can see kind of off to one side there's some movement. People seem to be moving in and out of there from another room entirely. They look like the first time they kind of roll in a rack of what looks like maybe tables. They're round on, but they're pretty large. And they kind of roll in a cart that has lots of linens on it. It looks like they're preparing for some kind of event to have several people at, but not just sitting. It's hard to tell what type of event exactly that they might be setting up, but the sign does say auction tomorrow, so you're assuming it's probably a high-end auction type thing. That's not a raise the paddle type thing. It's people know, and all you have to do is kind of look.
Okay.
It's a very auction.
I will then smile, pick up a pamphlet for show, and then head out.
All right, you head out, and you head to the shipping yard, I assume, because that's where everybody was headed toward.
Yep, I would head
All
to the
right.
shipping yard. Oh, the scritches, the scritches.
That's what I was doing earlier. She wouldn't leave me alone. Um, all right, Phoenix and Reggie, you head back to the garage. You get some things set up. You head to the shipping yard. You arrive at the shipping yard. Luna kind of lets you know her location, and you meet up with Luna. Uh, Gibson arrives a little bit later. You are muted.
That's probably good. I will back up to whatever door Luna tells me is the one we're going to enter. And I will immediately open the back door and send a drone up.
Okay, you're gonna use your shoot. What did we just call it? To open the door.
I will use this. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm not even exiting the van.
All right.
I'll go into the back and fly a drone up, monitoring it from the back of the
Okay.
van.
All right. You monitor the area. You see the shipping yard. You can see that there are some people moving about the shipping yard. Majority of the people that you see, which is not much, it's like 3, maybe 4 people, are walking along the docks. They seem to be patrolling. These look like the security for the shipyard. So if something should go down, they're the people that's going to alert the authorities, or they will just handle it. You're not really sure. I mean, you have a boat in a marina. Security will handle it if they can, but they will always alert authorities if something is going down.
By the way, this particular drone, the Shawasi micro drone, has a low light capability.
Okay, cool. All right.
So
You can make out that they're armored. They're not just people walking around. It's not just shadows. You can tell that they're armored. They have an armored vest. They are carrying. They are packing. They are definitely on a patrol. Like you can see,
right.
you can start watching their patterns. Um, You do notice a couple of other movements, kind of darting between buildings and whatnot, of a couple of other people. They don't seem to be going toward the warehouse. They don't seem to have an interest in the warehouse. Probably just a couple of people up to no good shenanigans. Um, Perhaps they will draw via security if they get into trouble for you. Um, or you can use them in some manner. It's hard to say, but you do see a couple of people that are definitely not security that are avoiding security, but you're not sure why they're there. They don't seem to be paying attention to the warehouse. Not really.
Right. But the fact is they're there, but they're not in our way, and we're
They
not in
don't seem to
theirs.
be, no. Yeah, it doesn't look
And
like you're going to cross paths.
and we will keep it that way. But I will keep an eye on them after I reconnoiter the whole exterior of the building.
All right.
I'm gonna do similar, but I'm gonna go into astral projection to do it.
Okay. So you see Phoenix kind of prop himself up
Slump,
in the van,
slump in the
and
van.
he seems to go unconscious. You go out
Just tell him, "I'll
astrally.
be right back," and I just sit there.
All right.
He's not
Yeah,
all there. We know that.
all right. You project astrally, and you kind of leave and pull yourself up. You can of course see your fire spirit. They'll follow you if you want him to, or he'll just stay there. Whatever you want him to do. And you kind of patrol the area. You do see spirits. Um, you see some water spirits kind of also in the dock area. So
Okay.
you know that there is a mage at least that has got some water spirits also patrolling the dock area. You see two because the docks are huge, and you do see two in this area. They also seem to be patrolling.
Okay, but nothing that would seem out of the ordinary for a shipyard.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna stay in astral projection, but stick around by the van. Or
Okay.
actually, I'll go toward where the pickup site is, wherever we're supposed to be picking this up at.
Yeah, that's where you're at with the van. The van backed up
Okay.
to the door
Then yeah, I'll stay by
to
the
pick.
van
Okay.
and just
All
keep
right.
an eye out astrally.
Gibson, you show up. You see the van. You see Luna. Reggie, you're pulling out your lock picker. I can't even. Oh my gosh, we just
Sequencer.
said it. Yes, your
That's Luna.
sequencer. I keep wanting to say
Gives-
scanner.
As I see him pull it out, shall you let me try the code that was given to us before you start trying to break it open?
You gonna go ahead and do it, or are you gonna let Gibson try the code first? Reggie.
Oh, I'm gonna let him try it first.
All right. All right. Still getting used to new names. We're not used to this.
Yes.
All right. So you go to the code.
Yeah, I go pop in the code.
You
I
pop.
use my my knuckle, so there's no fingerprint.
All right. You pop in the code. You hear a beep, and a green light comes on.
I open the door and make sure there's nothing, with it, no shotgun in my face or anything, and then kind of hold it open for the others, like, ta-da!
Ta-da! Who goes in first? Although Phoenix, you probably did. I don't know if you tried to enter the building astrally because you can go through a lot of stuff. Mostly thick steel and dirt that you can't go through astrally. Chuck,
Chuck.
whose name is Phoenix.
What was that?
Venus.
Phoenix. Phoenix. um, do you try to go into it astrally? Like, because you can go through a lot of things in astral.
Right. That's what I was
Um,
just reading about.
okay, okay.
About astral movement.
Yeah,
Try to go in where? In the
to the
building?
warehouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead. I'll basically follow Gibson in.
Oh, okay. I was just asking if you wanted to just go in prior to Gibson being in there, like,
Well, like
because
once
I
the doors open, because it's less likely to set off alarms if I go through an open doorway.
notice if they have magic.
Well, I guess I would look and see is there a ward or anything.
Is there a ward? Yes, there is. I tried. That's fine. Yes, there's a ward. So yeah, putting in that code, you notice after Gibson put in the code and the light turned green, and the door opened, it definitely opened up a way into the ward.
Okay,
So
then
the ward is not checking anything
I'll go
through that
through
door.
then that opening.
All right. All right. So you go into the warehouse. You astrally looking about, you can see that there is just a general magical presence here, with the ward. Knowing that the spirits are outside, you do see some areas that kind of give off faint signatures where there are packages, and things of that nature. Anybody else walking in? I don't think anybody's going to espy Phoenix flying in. Phoenix is still in the van as far as you can see.
I cannot see into the astral realm, so I'll look to Luna. Ladies first.
You'll go in too? Okay. Or you'll go in first, Luna?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You walk in. It's familiar to you. You know this area. Um, you see kind of looking around, there's nobody in the building. Um, you know that the shipping yard, people use this area for a reason. It is discreet. There is nobody here. If you set off an alarm, of course, bad things happen. But you don't see anybody present in the building at this time. You do see several large crates scattered about the building. You see a couple of other smaller crates kind of stacked up in various locations. And off in one corner, you do see the shelving units for the smaller individualized packages they're kind of carved out in a way that they can be hidden from the rest of the building, so that somebody can walk in there, pick up a package, hide it, do whatever they wanted to do, and then walk out without anybody else knowing what package or whatever they picked up. Um, Checking that out, you do know that those packages are individually on a sensor, that they can alert or alarm as well. When you kind of walk back there, you see your own package. I'm going to say this is where you store it. So you see your own, and you have no reason to pick it up yet.
So I will motion for Gibson to come on in.
And
All
I'm
right.
guessing the package we're intended to pick up has some sort of indicator, like a green light on the
Um,
sensor.
you will. I mean, as you kind of when you walk in and you look, Matrix. This place is wired. It's all seems to be there are constant pulses coming from especially the smaller area into or out of this warehouse to a more distant computer. You can tell that there are things signaling another computer, which tells you that they're probably wired for alarms. Um, and as you kind of walk around, you can see everywhere that there is a package, there is a red light that's sitting on these shelves. The larger crates, not so much, but the shelves, everywhere that you see a package, there is a red light. Um, kind of that tells you that the alarm's probably set. You know, like if you were to just take a package, you probably trigger something. Um, you see each of these places have a like a code pad. And as you kind of looking around, you notice letter sequences. Um, you see rows, columns, um, and then you're not sure what maybe the third letter is, but you find T, E, and soon you find X. X is the designated spot, I guess. T, E, and X. You will find the package. And it is almost 8:30 and I'm getting fidgety, so I think we should probably take a break.
Of course, I stepped away to pick myself a
I
plate,
I
and
you know, I should have been a waitress. It's always the most inopportune time.
you and your sister both today, I swear.
Well, you know.
All right, folks, we shall return momentarily, about 10
Yep.
minutes.
About 10 minutes. We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Sorry, did I interrupt you with anything? I'm sorry.
I
I'm
I I I, I accidentally dripped some water on my notes.
oh,
and of course it bled through to the other page.
Dripped water on your nose? Oh, notes. Yeah.
Including the ink. The ink just went straight through the paper and bled onto here. It's like, what the heck? Oh my goodness. So, we are at the warehouse. You found the package. It is sitting on what you believe to be an alarm because you can see it in the matrix. And Luna, you've seen these kind of packagings and stuff like that. It's definitely, they'll be tripped if you pick them up without a code, or trick them in some manner. And you've
is it
found the
still active?
package. It is active.
So like it's armed, so if we pick it up, it's gonna.
Mhm.
Okay.
But there's
How much
keypads for
information
each
are you
one.
guys providing to Reggie?
Probably just brief. Found the package, working on getting it. Like very mission forward, not chatty.
Okay.
Gonna walk up to the keypad and enter the code we were given.
All right. The light turns green. Beep.
I'll look to Luna and say, "You got some really big, strong muscles. You want to carry this for us?"
I'll grab the package.
All right, you pick it up. It's about the weight of a it's about the weight of a laptop computer. About the size of one too, to be honest. 20 inches by 12 inches by like 3 inches. It's not heavy.
You said 5. Anyway,
Did I
Thank
say
you.
5 by 5?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I
It's
said.
an amount of measurement equal to
Yes.
a laptop.
am I
About the
seeing
size of a
any
laptop.
change in the patrols?
You are not.
Okay.
They seem to be unawares.
Anything
All right, keep
magical
watching.
inside?
Magical insight? No. Not anything that seems to be like tripped. It's like it's all there. It's good.
Okay.
Nothing changed.
I'm gonna physically manifest and say, all good on the magic side. Let's get out of here.
Suddenly, this ghostly appearance of Phoenix shows up next to you and says, "All good on magic," and then
Doesn't he appear
disappears
back
again.
in his body? Oh, he just manifests. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he manifested.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he can manifest for I don't know something like an hour, 2 hours, or something like that.
It's
It's
not
like
very
half
long
your magic
total,
or
but
something like that. Or it might be minutes.
let's see, 30 minutes total
Okay,
for me.
30 minutes. So, yeah, and then he disappears again. Kind of off-putting, but mages.
Hmm. Well,
Well,
I
pick
look
the
at
right cup.
Luna and I say, "Well, ladies first."
I'll head to the van. The cup, the dragon, senior's background. All kind of glowy.
It's all kind of glowy. um, oh wow, your cup really does glow on stream, doesn't it? It's kind of right. It's kind of crazy. Um, all right. What did you say that you were you gonna check on your package? Were you gonna just you said something about your oh no you take the package.
I took the package.
Okay.
All good. I'm taking it to the van.
All right. You walk out. You head to the van. Um, Gibson, you follow.
Mhm.
Phoenix, you're watching astrally. All looks good. You walk out of the warehouse. When the door closes, you hear a beep, and the light
Turns
blinks
red again.
red. Yeah, blinks red because I don't think it actually was showing a light when you put in there first initially, but it blinks red and then it shuts off.
Okay. Well, I don't need to get back in yet, and if I need to, I will break it open. So I just head to the van.
All right.
I'm taking a look around, making sure that there's no weird matrix signals or avatars. making sure there's no silent alarms that are showing in the matrix.
Oddly enough, I keep forgetting that you're kind of keeping an eye on the matrix during this whole time. When you when you put in the code to make the alarm go,
Mhm.
a slightly larger pulse, there was definitely information that was sent through that stream that you saw, and then it stopped pulsating because the alarm was released.
Okay.
But other than that, you don't see anything that's changed or anything like that. It all looks the same as before.
Okay. Then I walk with Luna to the van, and then I hop on my bike.
All right.
I put the package in the van with Reggie, and I suppose Phoenix because he's in there
Phoenix is
physically in there anyway.
You put the box in his semi-comatose hands.
I'll
put it in his
shut
lap,
the door
fold his hands.
and get on
Yep.
my bike.
All right. All right.
And my bike is not like a stealth Kawasaki ninja bike type thing. It's a loud growler. So
Growler.
yep. Think future Harley.
Yes. um,
Unlike
Quick turns
mine,
of
which is a
stealthy
race
vehicles.
bike.
yeah, I keep forgetting
Yeah,
that
I
your
think
bike's a
that's
little
what mine
louder.
is a race bike.
Yeah.
The Suzuki Mirage.
Yep.
That's
All
what
right.
mine is.
I think so.
Jody,
Yeah.
do I notice any change in the coverage?
You do not.
Okay.
Although, you know, some bikes start up and that you kind of see a security guard stop and kind of look. He seems to check what looks like a watch, but it's probably not. It's probably the security system or whatever. You know,
All
he
right.
checks it and then goes on about his patrol. Like,
All right. I'm
oh,
gonna
okay, nothing's
recall.
triggered.
I'm gonna recall the drone and fly it over us, as homing on the signal and just keeping a watch. I don't know if Phoenix can watch the screen while I'm driving.
If he's in his physical form, he can. Depends on if he wants to
Right.
stay astral. I mean, he can keep up astrally, but
Right.
I can go faster
will- I will-
astrally than your van can go.
I'll fly the drone over us anyway, just having it home on the signal and watching.
okay.
Pulled out enough to be able to see a couple hundred yards in front and behind and to the sides.
All right.
And because I got to drive,
Yep, you're
but
driving.
I will have the audio turned up on it.
Okay. All right. You're driving through the streets. You got a couple of motorcycles kind of weaning through some of the streets and whatnot. Maybe not following a direct path, but following to keep an eye out on things. Astrally, are you saying astral,
Yeah.
Phoenix? Okay.
And just kind of being a little ways above the van.
Okay. You fly astrally, kind of above the van, a little bit. I don't care, higher or lower than the drone. Doesn't really matter. The drone won't pick up
On the
on you.
same, but
Okay. Um, and the drone is flying also above. Keeping an eye out on things. Nothing seems to be triggered. You guys don't look like you're being followed, or anything like that. Do you rendezvous at Reggie's garage? Or do you go off to some separate location and say meet at this place at this time or whatever? You guys can
Reggie's.
communicate that.
What I'm going to recommend is that they ride towards Reggie's garage, and one turns up on 14th, and the other goes south of the garage and turns up on 15th, and then they can just do a loop around there, and then I will come into the garage through the back door, where my personal entrance exit, the hidden door, and I will park into the garage.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So you kind of loop around Reggie's garage as he's driving up. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. Reggie pulls in his van. Um, pull in the 2 bikes
Right.
and close up the garage. Doesn't seem like you've been noticed coming in. There was
By the way,
nothing.
it parks in a Faraday.
Okay. Um, glitch or Gibson. Yeah, you get a little twitchy when you get in there because it's Faraday.
Big cages. Gotta love 'em.
Well, it's only set up for this kind of thing. It's not something where I normally park, but just in case
It's-
that package has a transceiver in it, I'm parking it in a Faraday.
Gibson didn't see anything. Whatever is in that package, if it's electronics, it is off.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah,
connected at all at this
that doesn't
point.
mean it's not on a timer.
That's true. But he doesn't see any activity coming from it. And so, all right, you get into
Now no one else will either.
yeah, now no one else will. Yeah, it does prevent people from being able to track you, or if you're carrying something with a tracker, it does kill all of that, which is good. Phoenix, no problem. You go in there. Faraday cage is not going to hurt you astrally in any manner. And you go in there with it, and you can rejoin your body whenever you want to, as soon as you're parked. That's up to you. Okay. He still doesn't know his name yet, and we're moving
Sorry.
on.
Hey, Chuck.
Oh, sorry. It's gonna be a while.
You know what? Here,
Chuck,
let's
Chuck
just
was
rename
still
Phoenix
after
to
it
Chuck.
protected.
Let's just rename Phoenix to Chuck.
I'll figure it
Death?
out one day.
Phoenix is his street name. Chuck is his friend name.
And I'm still trying to figure things out with my character, so I'm like sometimes multitasking.
And
Oh
you
my
said
goodness.
that thing wouldn't affect him. He glitched out.
He glitched out.
What were you asking me?
Whenever you want to rejoin your body, you're fine, because Faraday cage is not going to
Yeah,
affect
once
you
we're back
astrally.
all the way, and I'll do a quick search. Yeah, just zip around the area real quick.
Okay.
Look for
Yeah.
anything unusual,
It
then
might give the technomancer a good night's sleep.
go back if there's nothing.
I don't know. He might be antsy all night. The
Yep.
chaos is
I
oddly
enjoy the chaos.
Actually,
Sorta numb.
it'd be a lack of any sound.
I would go crazy.
I'll go back to my body if there's nothing.
okay. Yeah, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You go back to your body. Y'all pull in. Gibson, you get in there. And it's oddly quiet. It's stupid quiet. You know what this is. You've entered into a Faraday.
His vehicle has electronics, though, right?
Yes.
So I'm still hearing all of
all
his
of mine
crap.
do.
Oh, that's true. You're hearing. So everything got quieter.
Yes.
You're not hearing any of the distant noise.
The drone's set to recover
All right.
into the garage.
All right. Everything comes in, plugs itself in to get reset and whatnot. You are all at Reggie's garage. What do you do?
I'm
Walk
gonna
in,
crack a
turn on the
Coke.
TV.
All right.
Like I don't
You
even
all-
pick up a remote or anything. I just kind of snap my fingers and turn it on, and I sit on the couch and pull out my flask.
All right. You get down to the lower levels. Reggie pulls out a drink for himself. You pull out a
Step to
flask.
his refrigerator
Gibson.
and pull out my drink and pour myself a glass.
There you go. Luna has stashed a drink in your refrigerator.
I knew that. Talked about that last time.
That's true.
I'll set it on the table and I'll unzip my hoodie and I'll pull it off.
There you go. She pulls
To
off her
reveal
hoodie.
a shocking head full of white, shimmery hair.
And it shimmers. It gives off almost moonlight. It glows. Not excessively so. It's not like she's a street lamp, but it does glow.
Gibson kind of winks at her and then goes back to watching his TV.
A little flirt.
He certainly is.
She will shake her hair.
That's right.
And then I'll
Nobody,
twist it up.
we've not necessarily had a chance to hang out outside of a job or at a job in a social event, a social setting. So yeah,
It's very true.
Especially not a social setting that wasn't right
casing a
before
joint.
getting a job.
Yeah,
And
Or
this really
casing a
will
joint.
have been the first time that she
Really reveals her hair.
really revealed her hair.
what does
Um,
Luna's avatar look like? She is
Maybe
borged up. I'm assuming she would have one.
yeah, you're cybered. Your avatar basically, if you don't know what we're talking about, your avatar would be what you appear like in the Matrix, because everybody can access the Matrix via their comm links. Most people are usually just in an AR mode unless they go someplace to do VR. But deckers and technomancers are generally, they can do that just about anywhere. Deckers obviously have to have a deck to do it. Technomancers, not so much. Not at all. But so you do know about the Matrix because you grew up with it, and you do know that you can access it via AR for sure. You can get into VR if you need to, or if you have cybered eyes, or things like that. Certain equipment jacked in, things like that.
That would probably
But
be one of those things that possibly was fixed for me,
it is possible.
and I might not know.
I mean, it is possible, I suppose, unless you look at yourself in the mirror somehow in the Matrix. Do you want me to just call it
Yeah.
fixed for you? Her avatar will look like her, pretty much herself. Elven female, white hair, doesn't glow in the Matrix, but she's got white hair, elven features. She looks pretty much like herself, except for dress. Her dress is more business attire in the Matrix. You've you've never seen her wear a suit, or I mean, you've only run with her, so you don't know what she does in the daytime typically. But it does look more business attire, like a black jacket, nice white blouse, some black slacks, maybe a short heel, um, and she looks like she's a businesswoman. Hair pulled back into a neat little French twist.
I really hope that that isn't actually you. That's boring, Luna. I prefer the skin tight ninja get up to a business suit, but hey. And she probably doesn't have any clue what the hell he's talking about, and he wouldn't know it be any the wiser.
Probably not.
Okay. What you see is usually what you get.
I mean, there's a little irony in there. You are about business.
I am about business. I can picture that's what. I'm gonna pull a check. I don't know what my name is. Here. Probably looks a little bit more like Galia Shapiro.
Who Shapiro?
Galia.
Gallia?
Yeah. That's my primary. That's my
Oh.
primary.
Okay. Yeah, if
My
that
primary fixing.
all right. There's no name to the persona, of course, but if Gibson gets a hankering to start hunting, that's probably who he's gonna find.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. All right. So yeah, and you're hanging out there. Do you anything you wish to discuss? You just gonna stay the evening, stay the night, wait till tomorrow afternoon? What's the plan? Discuss it.
I will sit down on the sofa next to Glitch and prop my feet up and sip on my drink. Nothing like a good bourbon at the end of it. Job half done.
Reggie, you got surveillance around this place, right?
What do you say, Rhonda?
My voice filter has tuned him out.
Oh, there are cameras everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw, oh yeah,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess we just wait and see if somebody shows up here. Couple hours. We have a job to finish, and that package is the job.
And it stayed in the van, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's the Faraday. Okay. All right. Yeah. Once you step out of the Faraday cage, it all comes rushing back to you, Gibson. It's not a.
Once I start to
That's-
relax a little bit, I'll take
That's my spell of
the hunting
silence.
knife out and then the survival knife out and set them on the table beside me.
Then she gets a little bit more comfortable.
Get a little more comfortable.
Oh my gosh, what show was that? That's like, you're pulling out the sword, you pull out the gun, you get into your sock, you pull out another knife, you pull out a.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Was that it? I couldn't remember.
That's definitely one of them. And there's some that are some more and some less realistic.
Yeah. So, and she unloads on a side table while she's kicking up her feet and having a bourbon. um, so the package stayed in the van. Is there anything you wish to do before that time that you're going to have to leave to go deliver this package?
Well, after a bit, I sort of zone out as I jump into the matrix and try to take a look at that email server.
Okay. All right. You jump out of the matrix, or you jump into the matrix, I guess I should say. You see him kind of just glaze over. You're going basically full VR, right?
Yep.
All right. You jump into the matrix and you head back to the event center so that you could see about that email. You're going to do some hacking, obviously. So let's do some hack on the fly. I saw that. He's making silent funnies now.
I was hacking.
All right, so you get in, and so I'm going to need some basically hack on the fly. You're going to need to put some marks on this. It is definitely secured. I mean, you can get it to the basic area, basically like where you were when you sent the email initially. Oh my gosh, where's my book?
It's asking for a code.
It does ask for a code. The email does.
Okay.
Oh, that's not in here. Maybe it's in here. So are you doing something, or are you going to do a hack on the fly here?
I am reading one thing because I.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to. How secure do their servers seem to be?
Basically, what you're trying to do is enter a host, in essence.
Right.
The server is pretty secure, which you would expect it to be, considering the email that you got instantly when you inquired.
Okay.
They definitely like discreet,
Yes.
and electronic discreet requires lots of security.
Yes. All right. So I have a cheat sheet. Getting through the cheat sheet is just as difficult as everything else. So
Yes, listeners, bear with as we learn how to work our systems. In some systems, it's like, just give me a die roll. Okay, yeah, that's good enough.
right.
Other systems, it's like, I have to do what? Yes, sleaze is hack on the fly.
What is it for me though?
It's intuition. Sleaze is your intuition.
So sleaze and then what other?
Oh, sleaze is usually the limit of
Oh, I got it right
success.
here.
So it's, according to this, hacking on the fly is hacking plus logic. But you
Right.
might have something different because you did mention that you use something else. Do you use intuition, not logic?
No, I use logic, not intuition.
Logic, not intuition. Okay.
Yes. So hacking. Okay. And it is versus there. And I'm just reiterating so that I
Pardon.
learn it.
Opposed by intelligence or intuition and firewall.
Yes.
I got a grid.
Ah, nice.
And here I thought we were living off the grid.
4 successes.
one would hope, right?
I got 4 successes.
All right, let's see what I get.
Actually,
Oh, shoot.
Reggie's got his foot on the
1,
grid.
2, 3 successes. And no glitch. 3 successes. So you got a success, which means you are successful, correct?
Yes.
Because you beat me. It's an opposed test.
Yes.
And therefore,
Oh no,
oh
it's
yeah,
per 2 net
it's
hits.
per 2 net hits. You only got 1, but you didn't trigger anything because you did beat me. However, I do have to keep a mark over here. Because God is always watching.
Yes, God is watching. I don't remember the rate in which it watches, but
So you can try it again. I don't think there's any time limit to try again.
no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop out to clear my Overwatch.
Okay.
Then I'm going to hop back in, make my way back over there, and where is it? I have a cheat sheet here. Yes, my crack sprite. I will summon my crack sprite, not my crack pipe.
your crack pipe sprite or your crack safe sprite?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
All right. that one, how many? Sorry, I got to double check how many tasks that he has. So he has 6. All right. We're going to get back to that node. I'm going to have my sprite attempt to get in, and I will use teamwork to assist him.
All right.
I just have to look up teamwork now.
You can do it. I don't think I have teamwork on here. It's probably on my other cheat sheets.
Yep, I'm trying to find it. Sorry, I didn't.
Nope, you're fine. This is called We Are Learning a System. Thank you, watchers, for being patient.
Even my doctor calls me patient.
Ooh, wait, I got a list of intrusion countermeasures.
Oh.
Better do this right. Oh.
I'm not seeing it on these cheat sheets.
Okay, teamwork. Teamwork, teamwork. Makes dream work. Dream work. Jumping. Social skills, etiquette,
Teamwork
leadership.
tests. There we go.
Aha! You found it faster than me. Positive qualities, negative qualities. Negative qualities. Mentor spirits.
Okay,
Why
so
did I
essentially
jump
it's
to spirits?
diagnostics.
Okay.
So I roll my skill plus attribute, and that will add to their limit by 1, and then each of my hits will give them an additional die.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So my crack sprite, roll that up, and that was, so first I will roll mine. That is only 3 successes, so that ups its limit by 1, but it adds 3 dice to its
Nice.
hacking.
That's good. Increasing your limit is sometimes more important than increasing your die pool.
Yes.
Just putting that out there for those of you who don't know Shadowrun. Not that I'm an expert in Shadowrun, but that is one thing I learned.
Well, yeah. All right. So there is, his limit is now 16.
Holy cow.
He's going to roll 21 dice.
Okay, and you get a mark per 2 hits.
Yes.
2 net hits.
Yes.
All right. Who let you build this sprite?
You did. I got 9 successes.
9 success. I got 2. So you got a total of 7 net hits, which is 3 marks.
All right.
All right.
Now you're
So
gonna
you have.
go ahead.
Okay. So you have 3 marks, which 3 marks is very good. It's almost as if you have an ownership or at minimal an invite to be there. Kind of plays that way. So it does make other jobs easier having 3 marks on a target.
Okay.
So you have now marked this host.
Okay. Oh, I'm a power user. Okay, I see that now. Here, I'm considered a power user on it. Cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I was going through.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to look to access the first the auction list.
All right.
I'm guessing I'm going to have to search for that. I don't know how that works.
You are going to have to search a matrix search.
Perception.
Yeah. Well, it's a matrix search, would be my guess. Search for information on the matrix. Yeah, matrix search. I have computer and intelligence. Do you have computer? It would not be your computer.
I do have
Because you are.
computer.
You do have computer? Okay. I was like, as a technomancer, it might not be computer, but it doesn't. Oh, I even have little cheats that says plus whatever for technomancers. That's funny.
Oh,
It's not on this, it's on perception to find hidden icons, but search is actually searching for information.
okay.
You're not looking for hidden icons.
No. So okay, I'm looking. You said
Computer and intelligence.
intuition. You mean?
Intuition, yes. INT and D&D is intelligence, so you're going to hear that
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah. Nope. So I would actually use logic for that.
Okay. Uh-oh, you're talking again. Is this something for us, senior, or are you reading something?
I think he's talking to Mary.
Oh, okay.
That is 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay, great.
And according to my cheat sheet, that means because I have the 3 marks,
okay,
that means that I don't know what this means actually. Never mind.
What, the -4 and -1? Or -10?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is like if you are if you have marks on a system and I have an opposed test, I think it becomes a minus on my end because you
Okay.
have marks. But I'm not 100% positive. I do have to do a little bit more reading on that, but I think that's how it works.
Okay.
Okay, so you search around, you dig around in there. You do find, wait, you are looking for what exactly? The invite list?
First the auction list and then the invite
auction
list.
Okay. Auction list. You are going to find some information on the auction list as soon as I pull it up here. All right, because I have to read a little bit to see what's going on here. All right, on the auction list, you're going to find a wide variety of interesting things. On the auction list, you're going to find some schematics. And none of this, and looking at this, it's just like a list. It's not got attached to any kind of file. It's just a list. One of the items is schematics for a updated silencer that has been brought out by Ares. On this list, you're also going to find some unique regents, artifact regents that are of a high value. You are going to find some like critter parts per se, like horns, teeth, claws, things that are also used as reagents, but from unique critters. You are going to find some advanced chemical technology of makeups of chemicals. It just says like chemical technology recipes is kind of what it says, recipe. You're going to find in here a list of locations. It's going to say locations to a diamond mine or a diamond location. You are going to find in this list technology, formula for memory. You are going to find in here um, some seeds. It'll say seeds. I don't know what kind of seeds. Corn seeds, genetically modified.
Okay. I'm saving the file, and then I'm going to try to find the invite list next.
Okay. As you start to dig around, go ahead and roll me that matrix search again. You'll probably be fine with it, but we'll see. Just make sure you don't glitch, basically. Glitch, glitch, glitch. Oh,
I need more ones than successes, right?
yeah.
Okay. What if they're equal?
It's not a glitch. You have to have more, to the
Whew,
best of
okay.
my knowledge.
Okay. Because I got 4 ones and 4 successes,
So close.
and the rest were 2s.
All right. All right. With 4 successes, you do find kind of tucked behind some other files and kind of buried a little bit, you will find a guest list. Um, the guest list does not have names. The guest list is strictly numbers. They're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all of these guests have a series of 6 numbers. They don't seem to be in any kind of sequential order or any kind of logical order whatsoever. They're just all intermixed. And you will find a guest list of about 25 people. I mean, there's 25 different sets of 6 numbers.
Are they just numbers or are they alphanumeric?
No, they are not alphanumeric. They are strictly
Okay.
numbers.
Next thing I'm going to look at, and then it will probably be hopping out, is the original invite that would give them instructions on how to enter, how to present themselves, how to identify themselves.
All right. As you dig around, you do find the canned response. I'm going to give you that. You find the canned response pretty easily because that's given out to anybody who inquires. You know, you have to submit your code. You find the canned response quickly. Behind the canned response, you do see a couple of other template emails. And one of them is a congratulations, you've been invited to attend a special auction, extremely exclusive, high end product. Please respond within X amount of time. It's probably something like within 8 hours. It's a short amount of time. And a code will be sent to you. Um, you do see where there are responses, but there's holes in this file. Like you can kind of see responses that vary, like thank you for the invite. The below is my information. And then it's like there's a big hole. Like anything that would have identifiable information, there's a hole. It's as if it's been scrubbed or redacted in some manner electronically where it just doesn't exist.
Anywhere on the information that I've seen say the limit of people that were invited?
It doesn't say that there's any kind of limit. Um, it doesn't say, secure your spot, there's a max number or whatever. There doesn't seem to be any limit.
Oh, I guess I was for copying stuff. I would have to roll a edit file. Looks like.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is an action, isn't it?
Yep. It doesn't say how. Oh, it's
Edit file.
versus.
Computer and logic, intelligence, and firewall.
Yes.
And you have 3 marks on this thing.
Yep. So you're at -10.
I might wait. Is that -10 dice? I think that's -10 dice, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Did you get a success?
7 of them, in fact.
All right, you beat me by 7.
All right. Yeah.
How many of these files are you copying?
Both of them.
Okay. Just make sure you have successes.
Okay. I will do that.
Because I
Okay.
have 0.
Have that one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a random number that seems to fit any sort of pattern that might be. So like if everything has leading zeros, I'm
Okay.
going to do so as a 26th invitee.
As a 26th invitee. Okay.
And I
All
got
right.
more than one success.
All right. So you're going to embed yourself, basically, or
A
something
number
of
that I
that
can
nature.
use that would be on the invite list.
And you got 1 success?
I got at least one, yes.
Okay. Because I didn't get any on that one either. All right. Yeah. You want to cripple me? Bring me down to 1 die. I'll never roll high. Let's see. So you are going to embed. What information specifically are you going to embed? You're going to have a 6-digit number that kind of follows these patterns.
What other
Which
information is there?
doesn't seem there is a pattern. You do see a set of emails. There looks to be 25 returned emails that are completely redacted.
I would duplicate one of those.
Okay. All right.
And I rolled 3 successes.
All right. Nada. Oh, actually, that was a critical glitch on my part because I rolled a 1. All of my dice had 1. You are able to do this without a trouble.
And then once that is all done, I will hop out.
All right. Okay, so you have a 6-digit number.
And then obviously send my sprite back to the the waiting room.
All right. So you duck out and send your sprite away. All right. As far as you can tell, you have not triggered anything yet. As far as you can tell, the 3 marks definitely helps.
I will throw the auction list up on the big screen. Hey, look what
All
I
right.
found.
All right. You see Gibson just kind of suddenly kind of pop up, and you see some information thrown up on your TV, Reggie. Luna, you were watching the TV and until files showed up. Hey, I was watching that.
I will read the list. And I will mention the fact that I think I read something in the newspaper last month about some doctor doing some experiments with memories. And I will get on my personal little doodad and look up my newspaper because I keep them in storage.
She files her newspapers.
Dr. Amelia Hawthorne reportedly has a formula that unlocks genetic memories. From, I'm probably going to massacre this, Bixen Biomedical.
As fucked up as my family is, why do I want to unlock genetic memories? What
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 business?
Nimrod would think that this is a good idea?
Well, apparently, over there at the biomedical place, they think it's a good idea. I've even got another piece on the other page. According to Dr. Marcus Lee, he obviously isn't totally in favor of it.
He's a, and it says in the article that he is a bioethics.
Bioethics.
Eth-
Ethics. This.
this. Yeah, he's
Bioethics activist.
basically he's a
BIOETHICIST.
bioethicist. Ethicist.
Ethicist.
Bioethicist. That's not an easy word to say.
Yes.
English is not our first language. Oh,
No, holler was.
yeah. Y'all down there. What are you trying to say?
Golly.
That there's a potential misuse of this technology, and not to mention the psychological impact on individuals who might access memories that are not actually their own.
That would. He doesn't realize that's the whole point of this experiment, right? Access memories that aren't their own.
He's not in favor of it.
Hmm.
There's more.
Well,
There's more ethics to it than just unlocking memories.
and when has ethics ever mattered to the courts?
Don't know. Just telling you what I read.
Very rarely.
I mean, I commend his gumption, but it's like trying to talk to a brick wall when you're mute.
Talk to
In
the hand.
the name of love. Oh.
Either way, we might have an invite, but it could be risky. But I say we deliver the package first.
And get paid.
And then we can bid on the auction, I suppose.
If you want to. You might go in debt for it.
I say we pay attention to who takes home what from the auction. What time do
Good
we have
point.
to deliver this package?
Between noon and 1.
I'll pour
And
myself another bourbon.
digging through some of that stuff, you realize that the auction will take place at about 5. Or the event will start at 5. Oh, I guess I can share with you. You found that information because you found that the files. It is an event that will have hors d'oeuvres, almost like it's a black tie affair. We'll have hors d'oeuvres and drink, and the auction. The event will begin at 5. Like doors will open at 5. The actual auction will start at 6. and it is expected to go uh, until at least 7, maybe even 8. Just so you know, you found that information.
Well, I don't have a ballroom suit or a black tie suit, even though he is actually dressed not quite executive suit, but he does have a.
I actually have formal wear. I actually bought it before we started playing.
She does.
I have an Armante dress.
She's like, I never know when I might need something like that. Like,
I bought the dress and undergarments and jewelry and shoes and gloves.
I wonder what this looks like.
wait,
Just saying.
what are you doing?
I'm wondering what this suit looks like that he has.
Oh,
I have a designer coat.
yeah, yeah. She's got an outfit for multiple occasions. Um, she's like, I don't know what to do with all this money. I'm like, well, consider your background. What do you need? She's like, I need clothes.
I also have cheap gloves, cheap pants, cheap shirt, cheap, basically what I'm wearing now. But it
So,
gets even better because I also bought sheets and towels and utensils and dishes.
Oh, so he is wearing like high-end business wear, but not formal wear.
okay. You're wearing high-end business wear and you dogged her avatar for having business wear.
Anybody got a black strip of fabric?
Listen,
I don't know
just
what
because
Reggie's
this
saying.
is my style,
Say, I
I
know
just
I
include it.
somewhere who can find it for her.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right. So it is 9:30. That is where we're going to pause. You've got some information. You've got a list of things that's happening at the auction house or at the auction. You are delivering a package earlier that day for this auction for something else entirely. You're not really sure, but you are going to deliver a package. You did embed an invitation in there, basically for somebody to attend, and that's where we're going to leave.
Oh, I'm going to mention one other thing.
Yeah.
I have a second set of decals for the van if needed for a catering company.
You can figure out who's catering this thing.
Right.
So,
Well, often there'll be more than one caterer at these big events.
Big events, yeah. They'll have somebody bringing in all the drinks. They'll have somebody bringing in foods, hot foods, cold foods, all kinds of stuff.
And they laughed at me for buying fancy clothes.
I did. I laughed at you for buying
No one,
fancy clothes.
no one laughed. I didn't laugh at you for it. I didn't know about it.
They all laughed at Christopher Columbus.
He's not going to elaborate saying that he would have laughed about it. He's just.
He didn't laugh
I
'cause
wouldn't.
he didn't know.
I wouldn't. I mean, I glitch wouldn't have laughed. I'd been like, well, why don't you go ahead and try it on?
The flirt that he is. Let me see it.
Hi, pretty girl. Is it night
All right.
time?
Well, that is where we're going to
I
leave
wouldn't
tonight.
actually carry it with me. I'd have to go back to one of my houses.
One of your Yeah, she doesn't just keep it in her backpack. So that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. Thank you for those of you who stuck with us and watched. And please leave comments and let us know what you thought.
Got a suggestion? Please let us know.
Yeah.
Leave a like even if you didn't like.
Yeah, leave a like even if you didn't like. Like, share, subscribe. Do all of that because that does help us out. Also, check out our website, dndaddjokes.com, where you can find, when we update it, all of our upcoming events. You can find the hot sheet, which we read one of the articles from it tonight. So check out that hot sheet, and you'll kind of get a little insight on what's going on in the world and the little things that are being thrown into this campaign that the rest of the world is being affected by or is affecting them because what's happening in the world. So yeah, check that out. And I guess that's it. Is there anything else?
We'll be kind of curious to know how close Reggie's garage is to the riots that went down last month.
It's on the map.
Yeah, I was gonna say he gave you the address. It's the corner of something and 14th, basically.
Yeah, it's
I can't remember the other street name.
well, there's a link to it on our Discord.
Oh, well, not
The
everybody's
street
on
fight
our
went
Discord.
down at Second and Pike, so you're a little bit further away.
That's true. The street fight went down at Second and
Probably
Pike.
didn't affect you.
Yeah, which is another article in the hot sheet. So if you're watching, go read that hot sheet.
'Cause you did.
Yeah, obviously Luna did.
Rhonda did a couple of times. Dan highlighted it, so I might know if it pops up somewhere.
So yeah, so check that out. And I think that's it. I think that's all we got.
You guys rely on my
So,
CDO, don't you?
Often, even I do. What happened then? Oh yeah, you wrote that down, right? Okay, yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna sign off, and we will see you next week as we finish up this run.
All right. See you next week, folks.